In the last class, we discussed about thread, multi-threading in Java, and I told you that there are two ways by which you can create thread. The first way is by extending the thread class, you can create your thread, or by the second way is that by implementing the runnable interface, you can create your thread. So, I am going to write some program for you definitely, but before that I want to tell you some steps that you need to follow here. That the first step, you need to create your class that will implement the runnable interface, and the second step, you have to override the run method, okay, and then you have to write the logic for the thread, and in the third step you have to instantiate your thread. Then in the step 4, you have to start the thread by writing t dot start or the thread name dot start. Okay. So, let us write the code. First step, you have to write your class and write implements runnable. Okay. Right. Next, I told that you have to override the run method. Before that, I want to tell you something. You need to, if you want to check whatever methods are available in the runnable interface, that you can check by java p java.lang.runnable by this command. See, you can see here only run method is available. Okay. And if you want to see what methods are available in thread class, that also you can do. Lots of methods are there. I am going to discuss few of them, and but here you can see two methods are available. One is synchronized void start and one is void run. So, here two methods are available for starting your thread, that is start and run. Both methods are available here, but in your runnable interface you can see only run method is only void run method is available in the runnable interface, isn't it clear? So, run method we have to override. So, what do we have to write? Public void run, and you have to write your logic for the thread. So, int I equals 0, I less than 10 and I plus plus. Just simple. I want to print okay, and then another class okay, and public static void main. And here you have to create what? You have to instantiate. First point was you need to write your class that will implement runnable. Second point was you need to override the run method. Third point was you need to instantiate your thread. So, your class name is this one. I am going to create t1 equals new. Okay, that much. Now, here I cannot write t1 dot start because you have seen that no start method is available in the interface. So, what you have to do? So, you need to take the help of predefined thread class. So, you have to create the object of thread class. Okay. Thread t equals new thread, and you have to pass this object. Okay. Now, if you write the code start, then it will run, and I want to write logic for main. So int I equals, let's copy. This is my main thread. Okay, so for loop end, main method end, and that's all. Let's set the code. Let's compile it. Sorry, there will be implements. Again, you need to save that Java. Yes, yes. Okay, and now I want to run my code. So Java and the class name. See the output. Look at the output. Okay. See the change of the output. So unpredictable output. Okay. So in the first approach, only we extend our thread. In the second approach, what it did, we implement the runnable. Okay, and in the in this two approach, the second approach is better than the first approach. Why? Because when you are extending some class, when one class means your class extends thread class, that time it's actually what is happening means you cannot do the multi-threading, means you can write class my thread example one extends thread and then you cannot extend any more class, right? But if you write class my thread example implements runnable, here there is an option, then you can write extend another class name. So because you are implementing, so you can extend one, right? So the second approach is better than the first one. So let's take the example, let's look at the example once again. I think this is quite easy for you, isn't it? Now let's look at this one is a very simple example. This is just the one bracket, there is just, it is a very basic program, just the steps were shown in this program. Okay, and state we actually talked about in the last class. So now we'll be talking about thread priorities, and thread priorities, priority means who is having the higher priority will get the CPU beforehand, and who is having the minimum priority, he or she will be, means here the thread or the process will get the CPU at the end. Means suppose there is two threads are waiting to get the CPU, one is having priority 10 and one is having priority 1, but the priority 1 is waiting before the priority 10, but still the priority 10 will be getting the first chance as it is having the higher priority, right? So see, when the threads are created and started, a thread scheduler program in JVM will load them into memory and execute them. I told you in the last class also that whenever you are creating any thread, the thread scheduler will take care of the rest, right? The scheduler will allot more JVM time to those threads which are having higher priorities. The thread that are having higher priorities, that will get the more time to get the CPU, okay, or the scheduler will allot more JVM time to those threads. The priority number of a thread will be changing from 1 to 10. The minimum priority will be 1 and the maximum priority will be 10, and in between there is a normal priority of thread, that is 5. When two tasks are assigned to two different threads with different priorities, example 2 and 5, then the thread with priority 5 will be given more JVM time and hence it will complete the task earlier than the thread with priority 2. Okay. Now, you can see this norm priority, mean priority, max priority, all are written here in capital letter. Why? Let us take a look again. See here, you can see public, static, final, int, mean priority, norm priority, max priority. These three variables, integer type variables, are available in your thread class, right? And all three are final. So final means, you know what do you mean by final? Means these are constant, and how can we write the name of the constant? By the capital letter only. So these are written in capital letter, and here I have written thread dot non priority because these are static final. Static means you need to call by the class name and the variable name. So here I have called thread dot non priority. Okay, thread dot mean priority, thread dot max priority, like this. Okay, and now I am going to write one program for setting the priority. Okay, so let's okay, and then run method, and here you have to write println, and the whatever I want to print I will be coming back to write. First write this one, priority example static main. Okay, here I want to create object. Okay, right, and now I want to set the priority of the thread. You can write like this. Let's check once again. Set priority, find for set priority here. You can find that your set priority here. Your set priority is taking some integer value as argument. Okay, okay, so you have to put some value. So I have put 10. By two way you can set your priority. One more thread I am going to create to show you the second process also. This is T2 and I want to write here like this. Okay, and this is your T2. Right, now let's save my code. Okay, now just command it. File not found, priority example, why it is like this. Oh, I have saved it as txt file. I have to save it as .java file. Okay, now look at, again there is some problem. Oh sorry, I have not written the logic here, so there are some problem here. I want to show you what current thread is running, and I am going to use the get name method. Okay, so current thread you have to call, get name method you have to call, and by default your thread will be named as thread 0, thread 1, thread 2, thread 3, like that. Okay, here also you can see like that only. And I want to print the priority. Okay, save as, again save, yes, let's compile it again problem. Oh sorry, I cannot write like main priority, I have to write like this because it's static method. I just told you that it's a static method, static final, sorry it's not a method, it's a variable, static variable. So you have to call it by the class name and by your variable name, class name dot variable name. Okay, now this time it will run. See, so your first thread was thread 0 and second thread is thread 1, and the priority has been printed. Is the output will be different from the different pieces, and again if you run the same, you will get different kind of output, because again it is going to show you the unpredictable. See here the output is first 10 has come, then 1 has come. So you have just learned that how you can set the priority and how you can print the priority. And if you I have printed the minimum priority, and minimum priority was 1, so it has been printed as 1. And the second thing, I printed the set priority, I printed as 10, so it is showing you 10. Okay, but beyond 10 if you will get give as your argument, then it will give you some, throwing you some exception. Okay, so this is about thread priority, and then we are going to learn about thread synchronization. So first you need to know what is synchronization. So let's talk about synchronization. Okay, so suppose one thread is trying to read a record from a file. Okay, and another thread is waiting to write the same file. Okay, suppose this thing is happening, that one thread is reading some file and another thread is writing the same time, the thread is writing the same file. So, what will happen? Whoever is reading the file will get the old values, is not it, because another thread is already writing and you do not know what is being updated. So, depending on the situation, you may get strange results. Okay. Java enables us to overcome this problem using a technique known as synchronization, and here the keyword synchronized help us to solve the problem by keeping a watch on such location. Okay. For example, suppose the method will read information from a file and the method that will update the same file may be declared as synchronized. Okay. When we declare a method synchronized, Java create a monitor and hands it over to the thread that calls the method first time. As long as the thread holds the monitor, no other thread can enter the synchronous section of the code. So, let us take an easy example. Suppose in the reservation system, many people are at a time are buying the ticket, okay, or cancelling some reservation. So, many people are doing it at a time. So, data inconsistency can occur in application level. Okay. So, to overcome data inconsistency, what you can do, one reservation counter and you can put a queue. So, first person will be coming, will get the reservation counter to whatever buying ticket or cancelling ticket, second person will get the chance a second. So, queue it will be maintaining. So, only one thread at a time will be able to access the counter. So, you can data inconsistency will not occur. So, here data consistency will be there, but one more problem will be happening, that is more time will be taken by the system. Waiting time will be increased, and if waiting time is increased, then what will decrease? Performance will be decreased, right. Suppose the reservation counter is there still there and without a queue, that means it is non synchronized. Now, you understand, na? Reservation counter with queue, that is synchronized, means only one thread is coming, doing its job and going. So, no data inconsistency, is not it? Waiting time increased, performance decreased. But whenever the reservation system is without queue, then everybody is trying to access the counter. So, no synchronization. No synchronization means multiple threads are running at a time, is not it? Here waiting time decreased, performance will be increased. So, if you want better performance, then you have to use non synchronization, means all thread at a time. But if you require data consistency, then synchronization. Okay. Let us take one example to understand this problem. Okay. So, let us take one class. Okay, well, coming to this point, first next. So what to create the objects. And 200 start. Okay, and next T2 dot start, and again T3, T3 dot start. Right. Now I'm going to write here something that is for int I equals 0, I less than 10, plus plus, and I am going to write println. I'm going to write I and the string whatever you are passing here from here, and then I want to put my thread in sleep mode for 1000 milliseconds, means 1 second, and because I am using this I need to put this on try and catch. Hope you have remembered all the things. If not, then study once again. Okay, and how many brackets should be closed? One bracket. I feel it's okay. Brackets are okay, I think. For loop bracket was not closed, no? Yes, one more bracket you have to close here, and this one my main class. So one more thing is here I will not print this one. Instead what I will do, I will be calling the static method, means my class name is here what, example 100, right? So example 100 dot message, I want to call class name dot message name because I have made this static method, and I want to pass some name like apple. Okay, from here also I want to write this as Google, and here also I want to write Mac. Okay, now I want to save this file, save as .java, and java c, that is my file name, sing demo example. So sing demo example dot java compiled, and I need to run it. So look at, because I have put the thread on sleep for 1 second, so this is why this is coming like this. Okay, let's run it 1 second. So you can see Apple, Mac, Google, then Apple, Mac, Google, and all are. So it is not, I have not written any synchronized method here. Okay, So, if it is not synchronized, then all the threads at a time will run. Now, let us check one thing. Let us make this as synchronized. Okay, and let's save it and compile once again. No problem. Let's run it. Now look, only Apple is accessing. Okay, why thread 2 and thread 3 are getting printed, I am going to tell you. Just look at the output once again. I think you have understood the difference between put in synchronized and not put in synchronized. So, because these were there, that is why that set 2 and 3 were printed. Let's make it hide. Okay, comment it, save it again. Will be doing taking the example once more. The output will be watching once more. Okay, now look at, yes, my code is compiled, and look at. So, if you write synchronized, if you are using synchronized keyword, then only one thread at a time will run. Okay, so that is a bit clear. And if you do not use this synchronize method here, delete it and just wait for the output to be finished. It is finished. Now you can save the thing once again. Okay, let's compile it once again, run it once more. Look at, all are accessing, all threads are accessing at a time. So you understood the difference between the synchronized method keyword, synchronized method and non-synchronized method. Clear now? So this is about synchronization, thread synchronization. Okay. Next we'll be talking about, we have talked about already of thread priority, then thread synchronization has also been done. Now before this, I want to show you one more program regarding some method, how you can use the methods. Okay, and let's take one example again. Okay, so write class and my thread example 30, let's name like that, extends, TENDS, extends thread class. Okay, and then you have to override the run method again and again, same thing you have to do, right? And class, sorry, make it public class demo thread methods. Okay, public static void name. Okay, what you have to do, you have to create the object. So create the object. Okay, and what I want to do, start it. So starting it, and one more thread I have to create, I want to create. Let's name it T2, and T2 dot start. Now here I want to show you how you can get a thread name and how you can set a thread name. Previously I told you that by default thread name will be thread 0, thread 1, like that. Okay, and if you want to set the name, that also you can do. So, we will be watching that only. System.out.println t1 dot get name, let us take it, and t2 dot get name. Okay, and only one name I will be changing here, t1 dot set name, and I want to set it as, what name I should give, Java, no, Google. Okay, let us check the example. So, I have to save this file. My file name should be this dot java, and saved it. Let us compile it. What is the name? Demo thread methods. So, demo thread methods, TODS methods. Okay, fine, compiled. Let us run it. You can see, oh, I have not printed here the after I have make it set as Google, I have not printed it again. So, that is not been printed. This time that will be printed. Let us compile it again, run it once more. Have you seen? Your thread 0 is showing as Google, clear na? And how you will get the main thread, how we will get the name of the main thread. So, let's you have to write thread class dot current thread method, and then get name. So, it will give you, let us take the output, look at the output, compile, run. Have you seen? Your main thread's method name is being printed. Now, I want to set the name of my main thread. Okay. So, what is the process? Just make it copy. Okay. Here you have to do set name, and you want to print it as Apple. Your main thread name you want as Apple. Okay. So, now you can print, save it, compile it, run it. Sorry, twice compiled. Look, now your main thread name is set as Apple. Okay. Now, I am going to show you how you will know that your thread is alive or not. So, the method you have to use for that is object name dot is alive method name. Okay. It is false. It will give you true or false whether my method is alive or not. My T1 method, T1 thread is alive or not. No, my T1 thread is not alive. Okay. So, that is why it is giving you false. Okay. Now, let us check my current thread, means my main thread is alive or not. See, my main thread is alive, and that is why true is coming. Okay, and one more method I'm just going to talk about. That is your thread active count. Okay, thread dot active count. How many threads are active in your system, in your program? That will be showing by this. One thread, only one thread is active as of now. Okay, so I think this thread synchronization and few methods in thread is, I think these are easy now. So let's talk about few more methods. In the previous class I told you about thread life cycle, right? And there I told you about various methods like notify, notify all, and wait. Here I am going to talk about few more lines about those methods. See, inter-thread communication can be defined as the exchange of messages between two or more threads. Okay, if whenever two or more threads are exchanging method between them, then it is known as inter-thread communication. The transfer of messages takes place before or after the change of the state of a thread. Okay, so for example, an active thread may notify to another suspended thread just before switching to the suspend state. Okay, Java implements inter-thread communication with the help of three methods: notify, notify all, and wait. Okay, so notify method resumes the first thread that went into the sleep mode. Okay, the object class declaration of notify will be final void notify. That I have not mentioned here. You need to read the book, and because this is not there in your syllabus, so I'm just going to talk about a few lines. You just need to listen and remember all these things. And notify all resumes all the threads that are in sleep mode. So notify will resume the first thread that went into the sleep mode, and notify all resumes all the threads that are in sleep mode. Okay, so the execution of these threads happen as per the priority. Okay, and what about wait? Wait sends the calling thread into the sleep mode. It sends the calling thread into the sleep mode. This thread can now be activated only by notify or notify all methods. So whenever you are writing wait, that means you are sending the calling thread who is calling the wait method, that is going to the sleep mode until when you are calling it again notify or notify all method to activate that thread. Okay, so again the notify all is also final void notify. This is the syntax, and for wait also this is final void wait. So and all these three methods, so interrupted, exception, you have to remember all these things. Okay, now suspending, resuming, and stopping method. This function, the function of suspending, resuming, and stopping a thread are performed using boolean type of flags in multi-threading program. Okay, these flags store the current status of thread. You know the boolean means true or false, it will be given. The run method works according to the current boolean value of these three flags. The run method works according to the current boolean value of these three flags. For instance, if the suspend flag is set to true, then run will suspend the execution. Okay, if the suspend flag is set true, that means you want to suspend, then the run method will suspend the execution of the current running thread. Similarly, if the resume flag is set to true, then run will resume the execution of the suspended thread. Apart from suspend and resume a thread, a thread will get terminated once the stop flag of the thread is set to true. Okay, again I'm telling you once more, if the resume flag is set to true, then your run method will resume the execution of the suspended thread, right? If the suspend flag is set to true, then the run will suspend the execution of the current running thread, right? Apart from the suspend and resume, if a thread is means a thread will be getting terminated when the stop flag of the thread is set to true. When the stop flag will be true, then the thread will get terminated. And scheduling is not important for Java examination actually, object oriented programming, this kind of paper. The thread scheduling is not going to come, but still I told you that whenever you are assigning your thread, means creating your thread is getting your thread scheduler is responsible which thread is going to run at what time. Okay, and for that scheduling different scheduling algorithms are there. So these things I have mentioned for only to remember a few things. And I have already talked about wait, notify and notify all. And that's all for today's class. That's all for thread multi-threading in Java. And you need to practice again and again, because concept, if you once the concept is clear, writing program will not be very difficult for you. Okay, so and as the you know that examination time is coming, so you need to practice more and more. You need to first learn the concept, then you need to do the program. While acquiring the concept, you try to write small program first, and then you try to write a bit complex program. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you.